welcome everybody to another edition of Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers, sponsored by Front Street Toys, Casper Egg, Slama Enterprises, Trip Downing, and Wettenkamp Transport. We'd like to welcome Jason Schultz and Josh Dutton here tonight. As Greg Elsing and I are going to talk about the Pullers Championship with these guys. So welcome everybody.
Thanks for having us on, John and Greg. Appreciate it.
Yep. So first, Jason, you said you have to get off in 20 minutes or so. You kind of want to go over some of the stuff you want to hit before?
Yeah, I wanted to have on, we're excited to have the Badger State Tractor Pullers, some of the competitors invited again. The Pullers Championship's unique. You were voted. Josh was invited to the Pullers Championship because of how he finished with the Silver Series last summer. We invite the top finishers in the associations, and for like 4-1 limited pro stocks, the Silver Series is at highest level. We also invite like an Outlaw or some of the region winners as well. And they have until the end of, so Josh had until the end of 24 to accept his invite. And then the rest of the class is filled in by fan votes. And if everybody kind of paid attention with that, we do a couple different rounds of fan voting. Brent Yarn sets it up to where you can vote for every 4-1 in the country. Then it narrows it down to the top 20. And then for that second round of fan voting, and we try to always launch that, have that final list out right before Louisville, and then we work on the next couple of months getting everybody signed up and do that. And that's what it is. This is our 4th year. We can't do this without Brad Holzhauer. We took this idea to him 4 years ago in Nashville, Illinois, at the track at Holzhauer's. Everybody knows Brad. He's got a pro stock that his son-in-law drives, Brett Hackstadt. They got into the finals at Louisville this year. They also have a 4-1. And then one of their tractor mates, Brent Shorefighty, has a 4.1 limited pro as well. And they also work out a bunch of 85 limited pros, the stuff out of the 618 Motorsports shop there right there in Nashville, Illinois. And what makes our event unique is every dollar from the live stream and every dollar from the admission gate goes back into the pullers. Each puller pays a $500 entry fee, and that money's put back in as well. And last year we paid over $200,000 back to the competitors. It was about $5,000 to win last year. And I think last place took home somewhere in that $1,500 range. So if you look at it, they got their $500 back plus the $1,000. And then a lot of people ask, why do you do the $500 entry fee? It's just more of we know you're committed because we're publishing online who the fans are going to see at the event. So that's why we do that $500 entry fee. But again, it's put right back into the puller's purse. So I don't know another pull in the country where every dollar from the live stream, we raise sponsorship to cover our fixed costs. And then after that, every dollar goes back into the purse to pay our goal before RJ Simon came out with Farley was to be the highest payout in the history of pulling. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to do that anymore because we're not paying $50,000 to win. But ideally, that's a good thought, right?
Right.
So it's fun.
Right.
It's fun.
How many tractors do you have in each class then, Jason?
10. 10. We
10
want
in each class.
We all, everybody that watches this podcast, Greg, John, Dutton, we all feel 3 to 4 hours is a maximum show. You start to lose crowd after that. We start at 6 both nights to keep it simple. We know Friday nights are a little bit tougher, but man, every poll we've ever been to, you start to see the crowd disappear after 9, 9:30, 10. Yeah, the party animals stay. I still love me at Darlington, Wisconsin, with the best of them, but you see that crowd start to dissipate throughout the year. So like when we put this event together, like there was a group of us that got together and said, we want to make what we felt was the perfect pull. And we've always felt that pullers don't get paid enough money. I know promoters aren't making any money either. We got to put more fans in the stands, but we really hung our hat on no more than a 4-hour show. We don't want 62 two-wheel drives or 37 super farms. So we came up with 10 classes, 10 competitors in each class, 100 vehicles, and that's a nice on 2 tracks. When you're starting multi-engine mods up in two-wheel drives, you could buzz off 100 hot farms in probably 2 hours. But you start adding two-wheelers in and big minis and light mods and big mods. It takes a little longer to, those guys don't start up until the sled stops. We know all of that. So that's really Greg, John, and Dutton. That's were the couple of things that we really hang our hat on is you're pulling against 10 people. It's a weekend series, very similar to like a Bowling Green type of a setup. It's a weekend winner, and that's just how we go from there. So,
yep. How many people how many different fan votes, say in the Limited Pro, did you get? Total the vote.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Tens of thousands of votes. Brent Yaron, he's the only one who keeps tabs on that. They won't ever give me access to that, Elsie, because they know I talk too much. But
Right.
the fan vote is crazy, and that's what's fun about. And the third thing that we talked about was turn the puller into the promoter. The more Josh Dutton and Mike Gerlach and Punky, I don't know if Punky's on social media, but Screaming Norwegians invited in Super Farm, Positive Grounds invited in Super Farm, as well as Fritz Brothers. The more those guys post on their Snapchat, their Instagram, their TikTok, their Facebook, or whatever hey, I'm competing at the Pullers Championship. If you can't make it, buy the live stream. The more they do that, the more money they're going to make. And that's always been the whole idea, turn the puller into the promoter on this. Greg, you and I've talked about this for years. We got to get the pullers to promote themselves, whether you have 100 followers on Facebook or whether you have a couple thousand, doesn't matter. Those people follow you and they want to know where you're going pulling next. So if I know Josh Dutton loves social media, and Josh can say, hey, head over to the pullerschampionship.com, click on the live stream button, which we don't actually have on there yet because we're still a month out. But that kind of stuff, bringing awareness to it, that's a great way to grow the purse, and that's what we're trying to do. So,
okay.
Amanda says, do we have an updated list who's coming? So, Amanda, everybody that's paid and entered has been posted yet. So we still have about 12 pullers, I think, that need to pay their $500. And once they do that, Brent Yarn will update the website. We put a big push on it last weekend, but all the classes will be full that I've heard of. We're going to do semi trucks. Now we're just going to do invitation or kind of a exhibition pass with the semis, and then we added the light modified class, the twin engine mod class there. So we need to let Josh back in. I'll let him in. So it looks like we lost him here for a second. So there's Josh. So Amanda, we're updating the website as we go on that, Amanda. And we've had a couple people get break on the dyno or parts aren't coming in. They're letting us know, and then we move to the next person on the fan vote, John and Greg. Like if somebody was 10th in the fan vote, but they scratch, we just go right next to number 11. So
that's what happened to me. Parts aren't here yet.
Yep, that's fine. So
That's
fine because Jason Round was the next person up on the fan voting, Greg. So I sent him a text Monday morning to tell him to get registered. So hopefully he'll get that done. So
okay, perfect.
Yep.
So
Josh was one of our automatic invites because Josh, you finished second in Silver Series, I believe, to Adrian Cox, right?
No, the Jared Wortman.
Jared Wortman. Okay, my bad. I'm just used to Adrian Cox winning Silver Series points because he's done it like the last 22 years. So before Wagler. So.
Second.
Yep.
How many people are on your committee that puts this together that are,
There's three. Brad Holzhauer is a promoter. He lets us use his facility. We picked Nashville because it is pretty centrally located in the United States because we have pullers from the Mid-South, from the East, the West, the South. We had talked to RJ Simon early on about possibly having it there, but then you're kind of just in Iowa. And then Brad was very willing to try this as well. Greg, you've been down there. It's a nice facility. He adds bleachers every year. So we're continuing to grow there. So there's 3 or 4 of us really, John, that do the heavy lifting on this. Carrie Lowry works for Brad. She's our marketing gal. She's the one who keeps Paul Romack and Brent Yaron and myself kind of in line. I focus on promotion and talking to sponsors. Brent really focuses a lot on the website design of it, and then also just getting the pullers to sign up. And then Paul kind of just helps with a little bit of everything. So
if you want tickets, where do you go to get tickets?
We're just going to buy them at the gate. You buy them at the gate. So we have plenty of room for everybody. We might do e-ticketing. I talked to Full Pull. They're offering that promotion now to promoters. I just don't know if I have enough time to get it set up. So it's tickets.fullpull.us. There's tickets from some events there, but right now it's just buy them at the gate. That's how we did the first 3 years, Stranley. And then obviously the live stream will be available at thepullerschampionship.com.
Okay.
How much is it to watch live stream?
Live stream's $25 a night or $40 for the weekend, and then tickets to get in are $20 a piece. We also made a kind of part of our mission statement was to keep it affordable. We'd rather have 4,000 people there at $20 versus 2,000 people at $25 or $30. And because this is we're trying to be an outdoor Louisville, Stranley, where we kind of put this together. that was our idea. We got pros, we got supers, we got two-wheelers. Last year we had four-wheel drives. This year we went back to two-wheel drives again because we're trying to stay in that 10 class limit, right around 100 hooks. So,
Yeah.
Mix it up.
yep.
Good. The bad thing about the live stream is last time I was down there, my timing slipped and it shot about 4 feet of flame out. Then Mason and Avery texted me, "Hey, how much did that cost?" Didn't break anything, but it didn't run very good.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all fun. You got to get a little plug in here for Macville quick before you're done, Jason.
Yeah, so shout out to Roger Bauman. I will love Macville. Macville is the reason I met Greg Elsing. Nobody knows the story, but years ago, when I was just helping my dad pull, basically, I reached out to the people at Macville and I helped them for the first year when it was a Region 3 hook, or was it state level, Greg? I don't remember.
I think it was a Region 3 hook.
Okay. So I went and I said, "Hey, I want to introduce you to Greg Elsing, president of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. I really feel like what they could bring to this event could do it." It was also early on when I think Forrest had just bought. Was there that merger from ATPA into Pro Pulling League, right, Greg?
I think so, yeah.
So I drove Greg up to one of my Mexican restaurants back in the day. We had a burrito. Then we went out to the church and we had a great meeting. And Greg put on an awesome presentation. Glenn Bartles really sealed the deal. And I did not know Glenn very well, and I had not done my lobbying. And I just said, Greg was like, "Let's just call Glenn right now." And they called him and they said, "If you were us, would you switch over to Badger State?" And he said, "Without a doubt." And they all kind of looked around the room and look at what Macville is now. Obviously, they had some issues with the diocese and insurance. And shout out to them. They're moving to Seymour, Wisconsin, to the fairground, like 10 minutes away. And Roger has recognized, the Pullers Championship as a place to advertise to let his fans know that that they're moving the event to the Seymour Fairgrounds. So pretty excited about that as well. I think we're going to help him with some beer money pulling team promotions as well. He reached out the other day about that. So Macville is it's easily one of the top couple, 2 or 3 pulls. You got your Tomas, you got your Hillsboroughs. Macville's got to be put in that. It has to be put in that. That category of some of the best pulls in Wisconsin, and what that event has done for their church and continues to do for the church, it's amazing. And Roger and his guys, I've been doing a lot of stuff with the NTPA with Full Pull Live, obviously you guys the last couple of years, but like I see the Chapel Hill promoters come to Rockwell. I see the Rockwell promoters go to Bowling Green. I see Roger Baum at 6 to 7 different pulls every year, different across all the different associations. I've seen him at outlaw events. I've seen him at NTP events. Of course, I've seen him at PPL events. They're constantly out there looking for that next thing. And there was always 8 or 10 of them, Greg, just bopping around and all following Roger. And they're drinking a beer and having a good time. Hell, I saw them in Florida, down in Satsuma, Florida this last year. But to me, promoters ask all the time, like, what can I do to be better? Or what's that next step? You got to go out and just cherry pick a little bit what everybody's doing. And I feel like that's what Macville's done. And then they just make it better. I mean, have you ever seen a more organized like beer tent, Greg? And the bands and all that stuff. It's just it's awesome.
The bands they have in the beer tent and everything they do, the crowd participation and everything I honestly, to me, is my favorite pull because we're just getting done planting corn usually and field work, and first crop hay is done. It's usually our first weekend to take a breath. Because the weekend before is our benefit pull, so that's a lot of work always getting that ready. But it's to me, it's a good relaxing weekend. We all get to sit around, hang around all day Saturday, or usually we go out to eat or something, or just hang out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that in Northeast Wisconsin, Oshkosh has a big fair, but there's really no big marquee events up in that northeast corner of the state. And there's hundreds of thousands of people that live up in that Fox River Valley. And Roger and Renee, they taught me, or what I brought back to Richland Center when I did churn and dirt with my guys over the years. That's where I got all the ideas we did. We gave up after COVID. I burnt all my volunteers out, which is easy to do. But I call Roger and he'd answer the phone right now. Just awesome event, awesome venue. Super proud to call them friends, and so glad they kept it going, Greg, because we're tired. And you just mentioned that you work your butt off for these events, but it becomes part of who you are and the friendships you make. Yeah, and it's stressful and you're tired, but that Friday or that Saturday or whatever day of the week you have an event, you look out, see thousands of people at your event, knowing that you were part of that. That's really what makes it do. And I put all my time and energy, my volunteerism into the Pullers Championship now. That's kind of my channel that energy into Nashville. And we have a promoter like a Brad Holzauer, that if you build it, they will come. And we're going to, we're only touching year 4. And we've seen really nice growth through the first 3 years of this. And Clint Tucker builds our track. And I believe Mike Witt's coming to help again, or not for the first time this year. And we're trying to bring in that national level, that national exposure. And the ITPA is a great association, but they don't have any big mods. Some of the classes, this one of the very few times in Southern Illinois, we're an hour, east of St. Louis. So we're close to a big metropolis. We just got to work on getting all those people out there to the track and those hours.
Yep. So, yeah, it was fun. The one time I did get to go down there, we had a lot of fun. Lemke's and Wildman's, we were all down there. It was a good weekend.
Yeah. And Josh, I talk a lot, but I got to get off in a minute, so I'm sorry about this. Dutton's just sitting there going, shut up. But the one thing, everybody says you need to move this to a different part of the year, and we're never going to do that. Here's why. We want this to be before any points races start, because it's almost like you're getting paid to come test and tune, and we want to have some of the best competition there in the country. And when you look at the list of pullers that come to our event, it's very impressive. And Josh Dutton's one of them, one of the best 4.1 limited pros in the country. To come out of that Silver Series bunch like that, or to come even out of a Super Farm bunch, Greg. Speaking of that, we got to get more of your pro stocks down here. I know you're waiting on parts, but we were joking the other day. You find us an association where there's some of the best pro stocks night after night and anywhere compared to Grand National, NTPA, Pro Pulling League. Badger State can hang their hat with any of them, Greg. So kudos to you, because for 15 years you told me those pro stocks, Jason, we're going to have 10. And then whenever I was a promoter, by the time we got to July, Stranley, we'd have 4 or 5 left. But man, now I think you guys are probably looking at 15. And I know it's a public knowledge where the buck eater went, or are we keeping that quiet? Dustin Wilkie's auction, I already called him and just congratulate on him. And they pulled the motor out on Monday. It's on its way to Riverside. So what a hotbed of pro stocks. Dutton's just going to have to
add another good one like that is crazy, right?
Yeah, the buck eater. Dutton's just going to have to put a big charger on and get that component chassis coming, right, Josh? Can we start that rumor tonight on Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor?
We're good. We're good.
We're good. Guys, I got a boogie. Thank you for the time. Again, Josh, sorry for just blabbing so much, but I had about 20 minutes and I filled my time, and I'm going to let you guys carry on, okay? Just thepullerchampionship.com for any information, okay? That's where the live stream link will be. That's where all the information you need is, okay?
All right. Yep.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
See ya. Appreciate it.
Yep. See ya.
Later.
All right. On to Josh. Sorry it worked out this way, but I didn't know Jason had to get off right away. But hey, get in, it's a pretty big deal to get in here, earn your way in like you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Louisville thing. You do good, you get in, and it's fun to get in the other way too, and having fans vote for you, right?
Right.
Like you're watching that, and I don't watch it much, but then people tell me, hey, I didn't even realize I was voted in until a little while ago. I said, I don't have my parts. I didn't push to get it done, So.
Well, and I try to vote every day, and after a while, you're like, oh crap, I didn't vote yesterday for the guys I want to vote for. So
yep,
it's big deal there too.
Right, I very very much appreciate getting in, but Robbie's changing our motor program a little bit, and some of the parts aren't here, and we're working on it. They might be, but I didn't want them to count on me being there and then not be able to show up.
No.
No. I want to make sure somebody's there. So, if I think Jason Round had one tractor in already, and his other tractor was next in line, so he'll get bumped in there.
Right.
So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
He's a Badger State guy. 2 tractors down there. Robbie's going, I believe, right?
I see his name's on the list.
Yep, I think he is going. Yep.
Yeah, the list.
They enjoy it.
They're out, are they? Didn't Jason
What's that?
say that? Jason said the lists aren't out because waiting for a few people to get squared up yet.
Yeah, but I know Robbie's in, and he said he was going. So, that last I heard. So we'll see. I don't know if he himself goes or president and Big Bob will take it or whatever.
Right.
Yep. So who all, you and Mike are in for Badger State and the Limited Pro.
Well,
do you know that
Boots is Hollywood is too.
he got in too?
Well, his name's
Really?
on the list.
Okay. Didn't realize that. Yeah, his always in, right? He's a gimme. Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you make any changes since Louisville, Josh, or just kind of going to run it the way it was? Or
I had to send my injectors out. I lost an injector on number 6 halfway down the track in Louisville. So
okay.
we that out and
Yep.
trying to correct it right now. So
Right. And it's good you got to run with the new version of the turbo in the class, right?
yeah. So
that's what you
I was actually kind of lucky because I had time before Cloverdale and then the farm show to get the tractor set up the way we're doing it now, and give me hopefully a little bit of an edge everybody else, but we'll see how that goes.
Right.
So,
did you get down to Kevin's on the dyno with it, or
yeah,
I mean,
as Gallup says, we went down there and ground feed. So yes.
Yep. Good. You good? Did you feel good when you left?
Kevin says to go Poland. So when Kevin Engelking tells you to go Poland, you're good. So
You're good to go. Yes, you're right. 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get out of here. You're wasting my time.
yeah, when you're like that, he charges by the dyno run. So when you're okay, then he won't keep you there all day. But
Right.
There's testing we did on like the cross and all the safety stuff, and it was kind of neat to see that on a dyno run. So
Yeah. Well, like I've always said, hey, this is what I've got. Let's make it run the best. I'm not going to try anything else.
right.
And just see if we can dyno. If you're way off, then you got to find something, right?
Yeah. Right.
And we've all been there for that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Different pumps and different injectors and whatever. Yep.
That's usually one of the first things he says is if you're new there or whatever, hey, I'm not going to tell you what Dutton makes for horsepower, but we're here to make yours run the best as it can be.
Oh, and he will never share any numbers with you, which is really professional what Kevin does, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I always like though too that he'll say, hey, that ain't going to work. Don't try that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He won't say who tried it, but he'll tell you, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
No, Kevin's good. Kevin's good. Engelking's always been good to us. So.
Yep. He's always been good to us too. Yep. But them guys are all busy with them dynos anymore to get in and get time on them, right?
Well, and it gets to this time of year, and now you're thinking of planting corn or anything else, and Kevin's a farms too, so he don't want to dyno when it's 70 degrees and sunny out. So it gets tight to get everything done too. So.
Right. And it takes time, because it isn't like you can just make a pass, change the time, you can make another pass. You got to cool it down.
Right.
You got to sit there. It takes an hour usually to get it cool enough to make your next pass, right?
Right.
Yep. So, that's what a lot of people don't realize. You can't just, change the water and make a pass in 10 minutes again.
Right.
You because obviously when it's hot, it's not going to run as good.
Right. No.
Yep. So what else are you?
Go ahead.
Are you happy with the tires you've got or anything like that? Or are you looking for something different, or what are you thinking?
What's that?
The tires you're going to run down there, the ones you ran all year, or?
Pretty much this year we're on a fixed income. We're going to run what we've run. So,
okay.
Yeah,
because that's a big game right now too with tires, right?
Oh yeah, tires. But I think they're still working pretty good and not really changing anything else on it. So.
Okay. Right. Change some, you got to start all over and not know where you're at, right?
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah.
You're
who
all
all goes
good.
down with you? Just you go by yourself, or does Lynn go with you, or the kids, or who goes with you?
Either Lynn will go. Like when we were on the Silver Series, there was 3 hooks that Lynn couldn't make, and I ended up going by myself. And you run into Corey Fritz and Punky, and Punky actually stayed. They pulled Friday night down in the Shy Diesel pull, and Punky stayed Saturday night just to have a good time and help me out Saturday night, which
Yeah.
you know, so I was never actually by myself. I always had a friend from Badger State or somebody I could find to help out too. So
Right.
but for Nashville, Lynn will go. Lynn will probably be down there. So
Right. Did you get a hotel room?
no, we got living quarters in our trailer. So
Oh, all right. Good. Good. Yep. They're far and few between down there. The hotel rooms are kind of hard to find. But
oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was 3 days down there in the 90 degrees without a shower. When I came home, I was ready for a shower.
Oh, we got a bathroom and shower and everything in our trailer, and that works out really nice. So
Yep. Yep.
So.
Someday, that's our plan. It's nice to take a shower when you're going home.
Yeah. I've been at Toma before, and you go get your tractor weighed in, get every teched and weighed in and lined up, and I'm like, I went back to the the trailer and took a shower, and it is so much nicer when you're fresh and cleaned, and you're not all sweaty or whatever. But
yeah, you're not. It's usually 90 degrees there too, right?
Right. It's hot there too. So
yeah, no wind blowing. Right. So, well. You got any questions? Anybody want to ask Josh while you're on here? What you want to know what he does, or he's retired now, right?
Semi-retired. No.
You said when I talked to you Saturday or Friday there, you said you were up my neck of the woods working on.
Well, I was up at United Co-op right across the driveway from your grain setup, measuring bearings on a fertilizer leg, and took a snap and sent it to the boys and say, I'm right here. And it's funny that it was at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and their snap was, well, come back at 5 o'clock, we'll have some beers. And I'm like, I'm not driving, you're an hour and a half from me, so.
Yeah. Yeah, but you get around the state to quite a few places working on stuff, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And you had sold your business, but you're still helping the guy who bought it a little bit?
Yeah. So basically, I just drive around looking at jobs, estimating, laying jobs out. So.
Okay. Or a repair like you maybe looked at Friday or something.
Yeah. Right. Ordering parts.
Yep.
So
we get a lot of fertilizer out of there, so let's hope it's working.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So.
Yep. Boys been spreading fertilizer here last week. They got quite a bit done, but got a long ways to go yet.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
How much rain did you get yesterday, Greg?
We had 2 inches here this morning, and I think we had an inch the other day too. So probably 3 inches altogether.
Really?
Yep.
I thought I had a hole in my gauge because the last 2 rains we've had 2/10.
Really?
But I had a hole where the line was at 2/10, but that's all we've been getting down here. So.
Yeah. Well, have you got your corn planted yet?
No, it's still all in the bag.
Right. Probably a good place for as cold as it's been, right?
Right.
Yeah. But this week it's time to hit her as soon as you can, I think, right?
Yep.
We're going to do the same thing.
I think going to be rain tomorrow again, and another chance for Thursday, and then Monday, Tuesday next week too. Again, rain again. The way it's kind of looking.
Yeah. When it does clear, hopefully we get some clear weather to get at it, right?
It'll go. There's small chances too. So.
Yeah. Tomorrow's just 20% chance a little bit, but still wet. So.
Yeah.
But we got plenty of stuff in the shop to fix, so
we're
busy. Yep. John, how are you doing with everything you got going on?
We're doing good. Yeah, we're doing really good. So
Good.
lot to do at work. A lot of projects to do this summer, and we're really hitting the construction part of it right now, and working on shoulders and stuff. So yeah, we got a lot going on.
Yep. So
busy time of year.
Yeah. You got any questions for Josh?
Not as of right now. Sounds like he's ready to go.
That's perfect.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, it was a short night, and I thought Jason was getting a couple other guys come on and talk with us, but that's it. But that's good.
Oh, I thought they were coming on after me. So.
I thought they were too, but he said they backed out on him or whatever. He had a couple guys that he might get, but you know how it is. If they're in the field, they're not coming on if they're down south. There's Adam.
Brad Stevens, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So Mackville, Greg, is going to be on. What classes are going to be in Mackville so the fans know?
Two-wheel drives from Badger State, Super Farm Badger State, and Champions Tour both nights. Light Pros, they're there, and I think it's a Silver Series Light Pros too each night, and the Badger State's co-sanctioned it. Man, off the top of my head, I think that's it. The Pro Stock Diesel trucks, yep.
Are mod trucks there again or no?
Yeah, from Champions Tour, yeah, mod trucks are there, and light supers or heavy supers, one of them. I can't remember. I didn't. We just sent him a contract here, so I didn't get him because we didn't know for sure it was going to happen or anything, And so people that are watching, there was an accident 4 years ago. Nothing to do with the tractor pull, nothing to do with anybody that was leaving the fairgrounds. It's just a pedestrian got hit and, didn't make it. And then the archdiocese shut it down, wasn't going to allow it on the property anymore. So that's why it's moved to Seymour for now, which is only 10 minutes away. And we're staying they're blocking rooms off at the casino. So that's pretty neat. They're closer to the casino than where we were at the Holiday Inn before.
Nice.
So it should be fun. Should be fun. I had a lot of guys in two-wheel drives that were struggling whether to go out to Farley to Simon's Pull or stay here. I think most of them are staying here, so that's good. And then the other classes we picked weren't pulling in Farley, so that they should have good numbers in them.
Good. That'll be good.
It's tough. Tough weekend.
Yeah, busy weekend. Yeah.
Right, because I think a lot of the 4-1 guys in Badger State signed up for Farley too, didn't they, Josh?
Pretty much, yes. Yes.
Everybody, but my boys in Fredericks.
I think you're correct.
Yep. So see how that goes out there, right? It's a chance to win some big money.
Yeah.
I'll
probably be home. I'll probably be headed home the first night. So.
Yeah. Do you know what night you pull out there yet?
I don't know yet. No.
Don't know yet? Yeah. Well, if it's Thursday night and you do get in there, then you sit down to Saturday, right? Which,
yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun hanging out. There should be a lot of pullers there, that's for sure.
Right.
11 Badger State 4-1s, Adam Stevens says.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Out of
what, how many are, is there 50 out there too?
I think there is 50.
So over 20% of them are our Badger State guys, right?
Right.
That's pretty good. Yep. So I don't have a lot to talk about with you, Josh. Sorry about that. It's all good, right?
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet, to the point. John, you got anything else?
I'm good. I thank you for coming on and thank Jason for coming on and talking about the Pullers Championship May 16th, 17th, Nashville, Illinois. Wish everybody luck with that coming up. Give you all information for that. Also, be good to go up and pull the Mackville Nationals in Seymour. And I know Roger been working hard at that. So kudos to him and that crew up there. So that'll be awesome to go up there and be a new facility. Looks like a great facility, so should be a lot of fun.
Yep. I've pulled in Seymour. It's been a good years ago. It's a good pull there. Good facility there. So we will I guess we'll see you all next weekend. I think next weekend is Chris Feller. Hopefully we'll have some more videos from machining stuff is the plan. He was going to put them together this week and get them to us. So we'll have Chris Feller on next week with more stuff he's making.
Perfect.
So
all right.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right.
Thank Front Street Toys, Casper Egg, Slom Enterprises, Trip Downing and Wet and Camp Transport, and Ryan Zolik for helping us out. So thank you all very much and have a great night.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming.